So we're going to show breasting out this turkey. So instead of plucking it to roast it, makes life a little easier, and then you can do a lot of things with it, whether you barbecue it or bake it or pan fry it, whatever you want. But it's a quick, easy way to clean a turkey. Plucking it's nice. You can pluck it, roast it, or deep fry it. Sometimes I like to do pluck one bird and then you get to breast out the second one, and then you've just got the boneless breast and the legs you can cook. So real easy. So I just start plucking a few feathers right in the breast, just enough to expose the skin here. You don't have to do too much, you don't have to be careful about it at all. And I'll take the knife and just nick the skin a little bit here. So now we've opened the skin up, and then you can cut it, but it's just as easy, especially with this warm bird. Just peel it. We'll start peeling it back here. You want to peel the skin all the way down the sides. Be a little bit careful, make sure you don't like tear the meat, but it's pretty forgiving. So we just peel it all the way back so it's all exposed. So we've got this whole right side. If you come in here, you can see got some feathers on there, but now this is exposed all the way down to the bottom. So get the skin all the way off, all the way around to here. Do the same on both sides. Down to the bottom, and just so we can clean up all that meat off of there. And then I like to separate it. I think it's a crop in here or something. It's here. There's kind of some tissue that connects it. You don't really want to make sure you don't cut it and open this up. There's some nastiness in there, but you can either cut it or sometimes just tear it apart. Slippery here. Again, to separate this all from the breast. And it should all just pull apart like this here. Some of this, I don't know what it is, but just this kind of tissue that connects it. You just want to be real gentle, just barely running the knife, almost like when you're skinning out a deer on the hide there. So I like to pull it as much as you can. Get that all away, and then we can get all the meat right up into here. So when that's cleaned off, then a fillet knife is actually really nice for this. But as long as you have a good sharp knife, I'll start along here and start right tight to the breastbone, and just start slowly cutting it, getting tight as you can. I just go a little bit at a time, like down to the bottom and then kind of through the layers. You want to make sure you get every little tidbit you can off of here. Up in here, you just follow this shape of this bone and it's kind of split it right down the middle here. Yeah, if you make sure it's all peeled away ahead of time, you get lots of room to work with. And then just running along the bone, getting every little last bit of meat off of here. And then as you get down to the bottom, you just kind of keep following. Just keep kind of scraping the meat off the bone. I kind of like to start in here, work down to the bottom, and then work my way back up to the top. You can see we're getting everything, every last little bit off of here. Up to this joint in here that we just cut around. We're almost done this side. Inside here you kind of want to, it's a little finicky, some of the tendons and membrane and stuff, and cutting around these bones, but again, you just kind of Make sure you're looking where all the meat is and try and keep it all in one piece, but I could have already pulled the skin down a little bit more there. We're getting a tiny bit of feathers and skin poking through. I'll get this last little bit here, but that's essentially it. If you leave little bits on here, if you don't do as neat of a job, you can still go cut them off and use them. But then we've basically got our one big boneless, skinless turkey breast here, like a fillet in there. So this will, I think this weekend might actually do some, cube it up and do some bacon wrapped turkey on the barbecue, or you could do some turkey schnitzel, or say fry it up, anything. But that's, so do that on both sides. I mean, when you look here, we've left no meat at all in the breast, and that part's done. Throw it in the bag. We'll take that to the kitchen and clean it up later, but then it makes it real easy. You get all your meat, it's simple. And then the leg, very similar. I'll just come back in here where we started pulling the skin off. I gotta cut a little bit down here to get at it, but again, you can just usually peel all that away. You can cut this, but it's works almost just as easy by hand. Pull all that skin and tissue off the leg. This will just take a minute. You want to get it right down to the bottom here so you can get all that meat. So in here we've got it basically right around to the back, peeled off, and then you just kind of peel it back to the leg, and you can cut it or just tear it so that feathers are all off of there. There might be a better method in here, but my fairly crude approach is I'll just kind of push that out and it pops that joint, and then we go up, feathers in the way, and just start cutting right along here around this little joint down there. And if you, when you splay it open, the joint, you can just kind of cut around the knuckle of the joint. Again, following along this bone, making sure you get all that meat. There's little bits of that skin and tissue, you can just cut that as you go, but that's that. So we've got the whole leg off here, and then you can take some cutters, you can cut that off if you want, or even on these legs you can actually, you know what, well, you can just cut this joint. If you cut the skin and the tendons, then you can cut around the joint itself. So just kind of cut that outer layer, snap it. It's a little crude, I guess, but, and then you just watch your fingers. And there you have it. You can clean the feathers and stuff off after, but then we've got the whole leg. Do that both sides and you're all set.